Have you ever chased love, hoping it would bring you happiness? This is the question that many of us have pondered at some point in our lives. We live in a world where love is often portrayed as the ultimate goal, the pinnacle of human existence, the key to a life of contentment and joy. From fairy tales to romantic comedies, we are fed a steady diet of narratives that suggest that finding love is the end of the journey, the happy ever after. And so, we chase love, we seek it out, we yearn for it, we go to great lengths in our pursuit of it, often at the expense of our peace of mind. Imagine a world where love is like a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it eludes you, but if you sit quietly, it may just come and land on your shoulder. Love, much like that butterfly, is best experienced when it comes to us naturally, not when it's relentlessly pursued. Yet society often tells us otherwise. We're told that we need to find love, to secure it, to hold on to it tightly. But this pursuit can lead us down a path of emotional turmoil. It can leave us feeling unfulfilled, constantly seeking something that always seems just out of reach. We become like hamsters on a wheel, forever running but never really getting anywhere. And this relentless pursuit of love can blind us to the happiness that exists in our lives right now. It can make us forget to appreciate the simple joys, the everyday blessings, the moments that make life worth living. It can make us overlook the fact that happiness is not a destination, but a journey. So what if we stopped chasing love? What if we allowed it to find us in its own time, in its own way? What if we focused on finding happiness within ourselves instead of seeking it in someone else? But what if I told you that chasing love might not be the key to happiness? Intriguing. Let's explore this notion further. For the Stoics, happiness doesn't lie in chasing love, but in something deeper. Delving into the heart of Stoic philosophy, we find a profound respect for self-sufficiency and inner peace. Stoicism, a school of thought born in the bustling marketplace of ancient Athens, teaches us to seek contentment not in the outer world, but within ourselves. Stoics place a high value on emotional resilience. They understand that life is a constant ebb and flow of joy and sorrow, triumph and defeat. By building a strong emotional fortress, they insulate themselves from the highs and lows of life, maintaining a steady state of tranquility amidst the chaos. This resilience isn't about building walls or numbing emotions, but rather, it's about understanding our emotions, accepting them, and not letting them control our actions. Now you might ask, what about love? Well, from a Stoic perspective, love is just another external pursuit. It's not that Stoics are against love, far from it, but they caution us against placing our happiness in the hands of someone else. Love, like any other external factor, is unpredictable and outside our control. We can't force someone to love us, just as we can't prevent them from leaving us. Chasing love, then, can lead to a roller coaster of emotions, destabilizing our inner peace. Instead, Stoics advocate for mental tranquility. This state of calm and peace is achieved not by chasing love, but by cultivating virtues such as wisdom, courage, justice and temperance. By focusing on these virtues, we become self-sufficient, capable of finding happiness within ourselves, regardless of our external circumstances. So, the Stoics aren't against love, but they encourage us to seek happiness within rather than in others. This philosophy doesn't reject love, but it challenges us to redefine our understanding of it, to love without attachment, to accept others as they are, and to find joy in our own company. This is the Stoic perspective on love. How does a Stoic approach love? It's quite different from what you might expect. In the world of Stoicism, love is seen as a bonus, not a necessity. It's a delightful addition to life, a cherry on top, if you will, but not the cake itself. This viewpoint may seem quite foreign, even shocking to those of us who have grown up being taught that love is a be-all, end-all kind of deal. Stoics believe in enjoying love when it comes, but not in being disturbed when it goes. They understand that love, like all emotions, is transient. It ebbs and flows, it comes and goes, and while it's here, it's to be savoured and cherished. But when it leaves, it's not to be mourned or chased after. This might seem like a cold or detached perspective to some, but in reality, it's quite the opposite. It's about full acceptance and appreciation of love when it's present, and full acceptance and understanding when it's not. It's about understanding that love is a part of life, but not the whole of it. It's about realizing that our happiness and peace of mind don't have to be dependent on the presence or absence of love in our lives. Stoicism encourages us to love freely, to love deeply, but to also hold our love lightly. To not grasp onto it so tightly that it becomes a source of pain and suffering. Instead, we are taught to view love as a beautiful gift that we get to experience, but not something we are entitled to or can control. We are encouraged to appreciate the beauty of love, but also to understand its impermanence. To realize that just like a beautiful sunset, love is something we get to witness and enjoy, but not something we can hold on to forever. So how does a Stoic approach love? With openness, with appreciation, with understanding, and most importantly, with a sense of detachment. Not the kind of detachment that comes from fear or avoidance, but the kind that comes from wisdom and understanding. In essence, Stoics teach us to love without attachment, to enjoy without dependency. So why does chasing love often lead to more pain than happiness? Let's delve into this conundrum. When we're in pursuit of love, we often find ourselves trapped in a cycle of emotional dependence. It's as if our happiness hinges on another person's actions, words, or even their mere presence. This dependency can be debilitating, leaving us susceptible to emotional roller coasters. In the throes of love, it's easy to lose sight of our own identity, our own dreams and passions. We start to mold ourselves to fit into the image of the person we believe our partner wants us to be. We sacrifice our individuality at the altar of love, sometimes to the point of no recognition. The loss of self-identity is a steep price to pay, and it's one of the most common pitfalls in the chase for love. And then there's the inevitable sting of loss or rejection. The pursuit of love is not always a bed of roses. It has thorns, and these thorns can hurt. When we pour our entire being into chasing love, the pain of not having that love reciprocated or losing it can be excruciating. The fear of rejection often leads us to settle for less than what we deserve, simply because we're too afraid to face the possibility of being alone. We compromise, we adjust, and we settle, all in the name of love. But is it really love if it makes us accept less than what we're worth? Chasing love can also lead us into a trap of constant dissatisfaction. In the pursuit of perfect love, we might overlook the beauty of imperfect relationships. We may fail to appreciate the love that's already around us, always yearning for something more, something better. In the end, the chase for love can turn into a wild goose chase, leaving us drained, discontented, and disoriented. It's a paradox, isn't it? We chase love thinking it will bring us happiness, but the very act of chasing can lead us away from our own happiness. Chasing love can often lead us away from our own happiness instead of towards it. So, if chasing love isn't the path to happiness, what is? A question so profound, yet so simple. The Stoics, with their wisdom, offer a refreshing perspective. They believe that the journey to happiness is not found in the pursuit of love, but within ourselves, in the mastery of our minds and emotions. Imagine a path that doesn't wind through the external world, but instead ventures deep into the realm of the self. This is the Stoic path to happiness. It is a path that places a premium on self-awareness, emotional resilience, and inner peace. It's a path that, in its essence, is a journey of self-discovery. Self-awareness, the Stoics argue, is the first step on this path. It is about understanding who we are, what we value, and what we desire. It's about recognizing our strengths and weaknesses and acknowledging that our happiness does not hinge on external factors, but on the quality of our thoughts and feelings. Next comes emotional resilience. In a world that constantly bombards us with stimuli, the Stoics teach us to remain steadfast. They teach us to respond, not react, to accept, not resist, to understand that events in themselves are neutral. It's our interpretations that paint them either black or white. This resilience, this strength of character, is what shields us from the chaos of the outside world, allowing us to find tranquility within. And finally, we find inner peace. This is the ultimate destination on the Stoic path to happiness. It's a state of serenity that arises from the realization that we are the masters of our happiness, that we and we alone hold the power to shape our realities. It's an understanding that happiness is a choice, a decision we make every single day. So if you're searching for happiness, look no further than within. The Stoics have shown us that the key to happiness lies not in the pursuit of love, but in the mastery of our own minds. Happiness, according to the Stoics, is a state of mind, not a state of heart. How can we embrace this Stoic perspective in our own pursuit of happiness? Now that's a question worth pondering. The answer, my friends, lies in the application of Stoic principles to our everyday lives. Let's delve into these practical tips together, shall we? Firstly, we must focus on self-improvement. This isn't about becoming the best or outdoing others. It's about being better today than you were yesterday. It's about acknowledging your flaws, not as permanent weaknesses, but as areas ripe for growth. The Stoics believed that the only thing truly within our control is our own actions and reactions. By focusing on self-improvement, we exercise our power over the one thing we can absolutely change: ourselves. Secondly, we must cultivate emotional resilience. Life is a tempest tossing us about with its unpredictable winds of change. But remember, it's not the storm that defines us, but how we weather it. Cultivating emotional resilience allows us to navigate life's ups and downs with grace and equanimity. It's about understanding that our emotions don't control us, we control them. We can choose to react with anger and sadness, or we can choose acceptance and tranquility. Finally, we must learn to enjoy love without becoming dependent on it. Love, in all its forms, is a beautiful part of life. But the Stoics warn us not to become slaves to our desires. Love should add to our lives, not define them. It's about finding joy in the presence of love, but not despairing in its absence. It's about appreciating love when it graces our lives, but not clinging to it when it inevitably changes form. By incorporating these principles into our lives, we can achieve a sense of peace and contentment that is not contingent on external circumstances or the whims of others. It's a journey, not a destination. It's a way of life, not a quick fix. By embracing the Stoic perspective, we can find a deeper, more enduring form of happiness. Embrace the wisdom of the Stoics, my friends, and you'll find that happiness isn't something you chase, it's something you cultivate within yourself. Let's take a moment to reflect on what we've discussed. In the pursuit of love, we often forget the importance of self-love and self-acceptance. We've explored the Stoic perspective on this topic, a viewpoint that encourages us not to chase love, but rather to cultivate qualities such as resilience, wisdom, and inner peace. It's about understanding that love, like all emotions, is transient and can lead to unnecessary suffering if we become too attached to it. We've examined the pitfalls of chasing love, how it can lead us away from our authentic selves and into a world of illusion and fantasy. This chase can become a never-ending cycle, a constant pursuit of something that is always just out of reach. It's like trying to catch a butterfly. The more you chase it, the more it eludes you. But if you sit quietly and patiently, it may just come and land on your shoulder. We've also delved into the path to happiness according to Stoicism. This ancient philosophy teaches us that happiness is not found in external circumstances or in the affection of others, but within ourselves. It's about finding contentment in who we are and what we have rather than what we desire. It's about understanding that we can't control others or the world around us, but we can control our reactions and our perceptions. In embracing the Stoic perspective, we learn to detach ourselves from the whirlwind of emotions and desires that often lead us astray. We learn to appreciate the present moment, to value our own company, and to find peace within ourselves. We learn that we don't need to chase love to feel complete or worthwhile. Instead, we can cultivate love within ourselves, for ourselves. As we conclude this journey, let's remember this wisdom from the Stoics. Let's remind ourselves that love is not something to be chased or possessed, but something to be cultivated and nurtured within our own hearts. Remember, happiness is within you, not in the pursuit of love. So why chase love when you can cultivate happiness within? I want to ask you, if you feel that you like this video, please feel free to share this with someone special in your life. Love, and don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for your time, and until the next one.